Have you ever noticed how one look can sometimes say more than an entire conversation? You can meet a complete stranger, and within a few seconds, something feels different. Maybe they look directly into your eyes, and suddenly you become more aware of yourself. You notice your posture, your expression, even the way you're speaking. But why does something so simple feel so powerful? The answer is hidden inside your brain. Eye contact isn't simply about looking at someone. It is a psychological signal. When someone looks directly into your eyes, your brain immediately starts processing information. Are they interested? Are they confident? Can I trust them? Are they comfortable around me? And sometimes those questions are answered before a single word is spoken. This is why eye contact can completely change the feeling of a conversation. Think about someone who avoids your eyes. Every time you speak, you might start wondering, are they bored, nervous, uncomfortable, or hiding something? But the truth may be completely different. They could simply be shy or thinking about what to say next. And that's what makes eye contact so fascinating. We often interpret it emotionally before we understand it logically. Now imagine someone who maintains calm, natural eye contact. They don't stare. They don't look away constantly. They simply look at you while listening. Something about them feels different. They seem present, focused, and confident. That feeling can make you trust them more. But there is a fine line. Too little eye contact can feel disconnected. Too much can feel intimidating. The difference isn't simply how long you look, it's how the other person feels. While you're looking, natural eye contact creates a silent connection. It tells the other person, I'm here, I'm listening, you have my attention. And perhaps that's why the eyes have always played such a powerful role in human relationships. Before language, before explanations, humans used facial expressions and eye contact to understand one another. Even today, your eyes can communicate confidence, interest, fear, attraction, discomfort, and sometimes even emotions you are trying to hide. But what happens when someone keeps looking at you longer than expected? Why does your heartbeat sometimes change? Why do you suddenly become nervous? And why can one person's gaze stay inside your mind long after they've looked away? That's where the psychology of eye contact becomes much more. But there is something even more interesting about eye contact. It doesn't only show that someone is listening, it can actually change the way you feel during a conversation. When someone looks directly into your eyes, your brain receives a powerful signal. You suddenly feel seen and understood. That small feeling can change the atmosphere between two people. Think about the opposite. You're telling someone something important, but they're looking at their phone, looking around the room, or constantly looking away. Even if they say, I'm listening, something still feels wrong. Your brain notices the difference between someone's words and their behavior. And behavior often communicates more than words ever could. This is why natural eye contact can make someone appear more trustworthy, more confident, and more present. But there is another side people rarely talk about. Sometimes eye contact can create a feeling of attraction. Imagine two people talking for the first time. They look at each other. One looks away, then looks back. Suddenly, the conversation feels different. The brain starts asking, why did they look at me? Was that intentional? But here's the important part. Eye contact doesn't always mean attraction. Sometimes it simply means someone is paying attention. Sometimes they are just being polite. The mistake people make is believing they can understand someone completely just by looking into their eyes. You can't. Eye contact is only one signal. To understand what someone really feels, you need to notice everything else. Their facial expression, their body language, their tone, and especially what they do after the eye contact ends. Because sometimes the eyes start the conversation, but the behavior reveals the truth. And this is where things become even more interesting, because someone can look directly into your eyes and still hide what they actually feel. Their eyes may show interest, while their body language shows distance. These contradictions matter because human behavior is rarely controlled by one signal. The meaning appears when several signals match, and when they don't match, your brain usually notices that something is different, even if you can't explain exactly what it is. And this leads to one of the most interesting things about eye contact. Sometimes you can feel that someone is watching you before you even look at them. You suddenly turn around and there they are, looking directly at you. It feels almost mysterious, but your brain is constantly scanning the environment around you. Human beings are naturally sensitive to faces, and especially to eyes. Even when you're not consciously looking, your brain can notice movement, direction, and changes in someone's gaze. That's why you may feel someone's attention before you understand why. But eye contact can also create psychological tension. When two people look at each other for several seconds, the brain starts paying more attention to the moment. You become more aware of their face, their expression, their reaction, and suddenly a normal conversation can feel much more personal. This is especially powerful when emotions are already present. If you already like someone, their eye contact can feel much stronger. A simple look can make you nervous. You may look away, smile, and then look back without even realizing you are doing it. But the same thing can happen with fear. If someone looks at you in an aggressive or uncomfortable way, your brain can immediately enter a defensive state. Your body becomes more alert, your attention narrows, and you start thinking about what that person might do next. So eye contact doesn't create only attraction. It can create trust, curiosity, confidence, fear, and even intimidation. The meaning depends on the emotion behind the gaze. And that's why you should never judge eye contact by itself. Look at the whole picture. Are they smiling? Are they relaxed? Are they moving closer? Are they listening carefully? Or are they tense, looking away, keeping their body closed? These details can completely change the meaning of the same eye contact. And there is something else you should know. People often remember moments of strong eye contact much longer than ordinary conversations, because when someone looks deeply into your eyes, your attention becomes fully focused on them. For a moment, everything else feels less important. And that is exactly why a single look can sometimes stay inside your mind for hours, days, or even years. But perhaps the most powerful thing about eye contact isn't what happens when someone looks at you. It's what happens inside you after they look away. You may continue thinking about that one moment. Why did they look at me like that? What were they thinking? Did they notice me? These questions can stay in your mind because uncertainty makes the brain want an answer. And when there isn't an obvious answer, your imagination starts creating one. This is why a simple moment of eye contact can become much bigger inside your mind than it actually was in reality. But there's a lesson hidden inside this. If you want to appear more confident, you don't need to stare at people. You don't need to force eye contact. Instead, look at them naturally. When they are speaking, hold the gaze for a moment. Then look away normally and return your attention to them. That small balance feels much more natural because confidence isn't about controlling someone else. It's about being comfortable with yourself. When you're comfortable, you don't need to constantly check whether someone likes you. You don't need to wonder if you look confident. You simply listen, you respond, and you stay present. And that is often what people find most attractive. Not perfection, not performance, but presence. Someone who can look at you calmly, listen without rushing, and make you feel like you're the only person in the room. That kind of attention is rare, and because it is rare, people remember it. They may forget what you were wearing. They may forget the exact words you said, but they remember the feeling they had while you were looking at them. And there is one more important detail. The strongest eye contact usually happens when you aren't trying to create an impression. You aren't thinking, do I look confident? Or do they like me? Your attention is simply on the person in front of you. You are actually listening, and that changes everything, because people can often sense when your attention is genuine. Sonra devam et. And perhaps that is the real secret. And perhaps that is the real secret behind eye contact. It's not about the eyes at all. It's about connection. It's about making another human being feel seen, heard, and understood. And when someone feels that around you, they don't just remember your face, they remember you. And perhaps that is the real secret behind eye contact. It's not about looking at someone for as long as possible. It's about what happens between two people in that moment. A genuine look can say, I'm listening, I'm here, you have my attention. And sometimes that simple feeling can be more powerful than anything you could say, because people don't always remember the words you used. They remember the emotion behind them. They remember whether you made them feel important, ignored, safe, or uncomfortable. And your eyes can influence that feeling before you even realize it. This is why when you're talking to someone, don't think about trying to look confident. Don't think about whether they like you. Don't calculate every second of eye contact. Simply be present. Listen to understand instead of listening to respond. Let your expression be natural. Let your eye contact come and go without forcing it, because the moment you stop trying to impress people, you become much more comfortable around them. And that comfort is often what people interpret as confidence. There is also something beautiful about realizing that everyone you meet is carrying a story you know nothing about. Someone who looks away, maybe fighting their own nervousness. Someone who seems cold may simply be afraid of being misunderstood. And someone who keeps looking at you may not be attracted to you at all. They may simply feel connected to the moment. So instead of immediately judging what someone's eyes mean, learn to observe, be curious, pay attention, and give people the space to reveal who they really are. Because the most powerful connection doesn't happen when two people simply look at each other. It happens when two people feel seen by each other. And maybe the next time someone looks directly into your eyes, you won't wonder, what does this mean? You'll simply stay present, stay calm, and let the moment speak for itself. Because sometimes the eyes don't need words. They already said enough. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe for more psychology and human behavior videos.